A Metro Atlanta man wants to take his paternity problems to the U.S. Supreme Court. Carnell Smith says he paid child support for 10 years until a DNA test proved he was not the young girl's father. But the courts have refused to overturn his payments. Channel 2's Ross CAVITT is live in Decatur with a story you will see only on 2. Ross.
Hi, Monica. This is the story of a man who's been writing $375 checks each month to pay child support, struck up a relationship with the young girl, but then DNA tests showed he was not the father of the child. The DeKalb County courts, though, said he needed to continue to pay child support each and every month. Now he wants the U.S. Supreme Court to hear his case. Carnell Smith believes he's paid the young girl's mother some $40,000 in child support over 10 years, always believing what the mother has claimed.
Who wouldn't believe that they were the father?
Smith says years later, when the child's mother came to court seeking to more than double his monthly support payments, a friend convinced him to run a DNA test, which by now had become much cheaper and quicker than ever before.
The DNA test showed that 0% paternity, that I'm 100% excluded. At that point, I felt angry, I felt betrayed, I felt hurt, and ultimately just kept thinking about, well, how could she do something like that?
So you would think with a DNA test in hand that perhaps the judge would throw out the whole thing. After all, it let people go from death row because of DNA tests. But in this case, a DeKalb County judge said because Smith had the chance 10 years earlier to have a test done and declined to do so, that he was not going to change the relationship between Smith and the young child.
For the court to say, because once upon a time you agreed to act in the right way, you voluntarily agreed to pay child support, you agreed to have a relationship with the child based solely on the mother's word, the law seems to punish him for doing that, and that's the law that Carnell is seeking to change.
Logic would seem to dictate that if the man didn't cause the pregnancy, he shouldn't be paying for it.
And here's an important point. After the DNA results came in, the child's mother did finally tell Mr. Smith, I don't want your money anymore. You don't have to pay a child support. But he also was cut off from seeing the now 13-year-old child. Coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, more on his story, including what specifically he is asking the U.S. Supreme Court to change. Another surprising legal twist. Live in Decatur tonight, Ross CAVITT, Channel 2 Action News.
The U.S. Supreme Court to hear his paternity suit. Carnell Smith said he paid child support for 10 years until DNA test revealed he is not the father. Still, DeKalb and Georgia courts have refused to overturn the child support order. Channel 2's Ross CAVITT live in Decatur with a story you'll see only on 2, and an interesting story at that, Ross.
It is, and unfortunately there's the young girl, John, caught in the middle of all this. The child's mother, after the DNA test came in, told Carnell Smith, you don't have to pay me child support anymore, but there's still an order filed here at the DeKalb County Courthouse saying that he does have to pay child support each and every month. So he wants to take his case to the U.S. Supreme Court because he doesn't think he should have to pay anything. Carnell Smith paid child support faithfully for 10 years until the young girl's mother asked for more money.
Which was going to be in excess of $1,000 a month, which was going to put me, my wife, and my children out on the streets.
Smith then did something he declined to do 10 years earlier, got a DNA test, which by now have become quick and affordable. The test results said he was definitely not the father.
Logic would seem to dictate that if the man didn't cause the pregnancy, he shouldn't be paying for it.
But a DeKalb County judge didn't see it that way, saying because Smith had the option 10 years earlier of having a test done and declined to do so, that the judge would not hold another hearing. Now, the child's mother then told Smith that, all right, she didn't want any more of his child support money, but he couldn't see the child again either.
And that to me was like the ultimate slap in the face. So I can't see the child.
So Smith is on a crusade, launching a website and personally filing papers to have the U.S. Supreme Court hear the case. He's getting help from lawyer Randall Kessler.
It is really surprising to me how many times we get phone calls where somebody calls and I pick up the phone and they say, you're not going to believe this, but I've been paying child support for 10 years. And it turns out it's not my child. It really just happens a lot.
Well, it's not just a Carnell Smith issue. Carnell is not the only guy this is happening to. One thing I find in common with the married men, single men, and unwed men is that all of us were not told the whole story.
And Smith says his goal in going to the U.S. Supreme Court, he wants the justices to tell the states and local jurisdictions that they may have the right to order biological or adoptive fathers to pay child support. They have no right whatsoever to ask non-fathers to pay child support. Attorney Kessler said there may be as many as 1 million men in the United States who, know it or not, are in the same position as Carnell Smith. Live tonight in Decatur, Ross CAVITT, Channel 2 Action News.
The question does arise, Ross, why he didn't contest this a little more vigorously 10 years ago.
Well, he believed what the child's mother said and thought he was doing the right thing at the time, John, and had no reason to believe otherwise.
All right. Thanks very much.
All right.